with the Geeks Out. Hey girl!
I think that comic books tend to present really strong women. I think they, like, even in the body language and their way they're drawn, a lot of the artists, they make them overly voluptuous, yes, but they give them strong stances and strong opinions and make them equals to a lot of the male characters. And I think that was great growing up, having that. And I've always been so against people describing comics as sexist because, like, yes, they are, like, ridiculous, and it is women in tiny little clothes, but I've always felt it's so empowering, too. And then recently there's been a whole rash of great gay characters that are not just in the comics, they are part of the world and they're accepted by the characters and readers love them. The demand for Batwoman has been insane. And like the best characters in Young Avengers are the gay couple Teddy and Billy. And like people love them and I think that that's fantastic too.
Comics has given me a feeling that I could do anything because what were X-Men? They were outsiders. What are mutants? Mutants are basically gay people. So mutants to me were me. So I looked to the X-Men and the New Mutants and Storm and all that, and they gave me power. And then that slipped into Madonna, who is what? An X-Men. Madonna is a New Mutant. She is a superhero. So I've always been inspired by superheroes and mutants and pop singers. So it gets better, believe me.
Everything he said times 2. I agree with everything. With Gaga added to that.
Right. So that's
the
for
new
the new
mutant.
kids.
I didn't really come out until in the last couple of years, so I think that was probably the biggest struggle. I think the comic actually helped me to come out more. I would actually say that our process of writing it, we began writing it 3 or 4 years ago, and that actually really helped push me into being able to be comfortable with it. So even if it wasn't other comics, I think in the process of writing this story itself, it helped me be comfortable with myself and together.
My name is Greg, and I am a financial advisor and a geek, and I am also gay, and just to all the gay geeks out there growing up, it does get better. Just wait it out and roll the dice.
I don't really feel like comics like helped me coming out as much as they just helped me in general. Like just reading all kinds of comics, Marvel, DC, whatever, as a kid, and then, you know, that was always like my go-to place whenever, you know, and I mean that all factors into, you know, being a gay teenager and not being able to say anything at high school because back then it wasn't nearly as acceptable as it is now, and it's still not that acceptable, unfortunately. But like it was always like my refuge. Like I could always just lose myself in that 4-color world, and the good guys always win, and they wore tight clothes and looked hot doing it.
Always like checking out all the hot ladies in the scantily clad outfits, and that is what I look for in every comic. I'm like, ooh, are there hot babes? No, there's not. Next comic.
I grew up in a very insulated neighborhood. I went to a private school which was very homophobic, and my sister's boyfriend at the time gave me a big hockey bag from Canada full of X-Men comics. And what better comic to connect to if you feel separate, alienated, persecuted, and like you're harboring a big secret. So I actually thought that, even at that younger age, I thought it was almost an intentional allegory to being gay, and I've got a lot of support and comfort through X-Men comics. And I remember as I approached puberty, I hoped some power might emerge, and I would be like whisked off to Xavier's school for the youngsters. That didn't happen, but it was like my one touchstone of strength during a really awful sort of, you know, time of alienation. So
I wanted superpowers. It was all, I don't know why, it was nothing to do with gay. It was just, I wanted to be superpowered, you know?
I started off reading comics and I was interested in it up until like high school, and then I discovered manga, anime and manga Japanese culture. So I started to go in that direction, and like gay and lesbian like series are a little semi-popular. So through there, I've met people through cosplay who were queer, LGBTQ, and they became my friends. And then we supported each other. If they had issues, I would talk to them, and then we became like kind of like not a support group, but we just support each other. We were friends, and we helped each other. And then if we had any problems, then we could also help each other. We had someone to lean on, who was also a geek,
who were also LGBTQ.
You know, it can be hard whenever you're struggling with your identity and who you are, and comic books were always a way of experiencing a fantasy world where I could kind of get out of, you know, the confines of the day-to-day life and daydream and pretend that there are other worlds out there with beautiful men in spandex and just fun alternate realities where maybe I didn't feel like I was going to be persecuted or oppressed as much. So I think comic books just enhance that imaginary life in my mind.
Hi, my name's Clint, and I'm actually gay, and a lawyer, and a geek.
Yeah!
And so I wanted to tell you that it definitely does get better. It is so much fun to just do what you want, do what you like. Here I am, dressed up like a character from Witch Hunter Robin. Because why? Because I want to. So just remember, you can have a career, you can have friends, you can do what you want, and rock on and be awesome.
Well, I actually wasn't allowed to read comic books when I was a kid. My dad was, or my parents were a little strict when it came to reading materials, so I used to buy them and hide them in the house a lot. So I knew what it was kind of like to be a closeted person as well as a closeted fanboy. So it was kind of nice when I finally got old enough to be able to buy comics on my own without being worried that they were going to get thrown away, as well as, you know, kind of be able to come out and be me. So, but I've always loved comics. I think the fantasy world kind of just, you know, it works like with any type of entertainment. It gives people a freedom to kind of explore and be by themselves and, you know, just have room to breathe. So offered a lot of different planes of existence when it got tough. But, you know, for the most part, I think everybody needs a role model, and I think comics were just a great step to kind of find some role models.
Reading Ariel Strag, reading her autobiography, comics. It's just about her being gay in high school and what it was like to come out. The first one starts out, she's not out, and she wrote them as she was in high school, so it's her discovering that she's gay. Those help so much.
It's so stereotypical, but mine's Wonder Woman and the Dazzler, like, and Donna Troy, straight up. Relatable, everyday people who could get it done, and they were fabulous doing so. So I was like, gotta love them.
I'll agree. Wonder Woman definitely was a big, you know, influence. You know, she was a strong woman. She was a strong, you know, superhero. I mean, North Star, I mean, he is one of the first gay superheroes, so I always felt a strong connection to him, because he was also a little bitchy. And then I always liked Garth, Beast Boy, but I've always been told that he wasn't gay, but he was with a lot of girls, so I think there might be something there.
Actually, a lot of my people, you know, friends who like comic books are all gay, actually.
Oh,
so, yeah. I don't know, but my girlfriend over there loves comic books, so.
Well, I kind of first started reading with Archie and first sort of fell in love with Archie. He was my first real crush, and I loved me some Archie Andrews, and it's just, I've had this amazing experience, especially even here at Comic-Con the last couple of years, just finding the community here, finding other gay nerds, gay geeks, and finding that there are other people like me.
Probably a little cliche to say, but I grew up reading X-Men, and I mean, you know, everyone always talks about how that's an allegory for us, and I think it kind of really is. I mean, you see these people that are dealing with being different, and they're awesome, and they're cool, and they're sexy, and so I think that was at a young age, seeing that sort of seeped into my consciousness that, you know, being different is okay, and like finding other friends that like sort of nerdy geeky things. It's a community in and of itself, so I never really felt like coming out was as tough because I was already around a bunch of different fun people.
Stay true to yourself. It gets better. It really does. Especially once you get a little older, you can kind of start really expressing yourself.
Don't sort of stay by yourself. You can find people here at the conventions, go to a comic book store, go to any kind of event. There are going to be gay people there, and you're going to have a wonderful time.